Good afternoon to all the students. So in the last class we started the discussion on the trees concept, where we have gone through the introductory concepts related to these trees, such as the definition of the tree and how the computer science view this tree, and what are the various terminology we have with regarding this tree, and what are the various applications of trees, and what is the main reason for implementing the trees. Can anybody discuss what for we are going through this trees concept?
For hierarchical distribution of data, sir.
Right. So when you have the hierarchical data and when you want to represent it in the programming, then we will go for the concept of trees. So what are the advantages we have for these trees with rather than this linked lists and whatever linear data structures we have?
Easy insertion and deletion, sir.
Okay, easy insertion and deletion. Again, anything else we have?
It combines the effects. It combines the advantages of ordered array and linked list.
Right. So the trees concept combines the advantages of both the linked lists as well as the ordered arrays. In ordered arrays we have the efficient search operation, and in the linked list we have the efficient insertion and deletion operations. So if you combine both the benefits of these searching, these linked lists and the ordered arrays, we have an efficient tree data structure which performs the search, insertion and deletion operations in an efficient manner. So that is one of the advantages we have with these trees. So we have seen different characteristics of trees, what do we call a node and what are edges, and what is the relationship that exists between these nodes and how they are related. And we have gone through the tree terminology such as path, root, parent, child, leaf node, internal nodes, external nodes, subtrees, and then what do you mean by traversing, what are the various levels we have, all these things we have discussed. And finally we ended up our discussion on discussing the applications of these trees, very important application. So whenever you want to have the hierarchical data, we go for the trees. It is used in implementing the binary search tree, which is a search tree which has very fast insertion, search and delete operations, and it is also used to implement heap, B trees, B plus trees, syntax trees, suffix trees, spanning trees, tries. So all these concepts where we use these trees in different subjects also, right? As I told that B trees and B plus trees are used for the purpose of indexing in DBMS. Syntax trees is used in the concept of compiler design, and the spanning trees, it is used to find the shortest path, all these things, right? So we have numerous applications for these trees, and hence the trees concept is a very big chapter we need to concentrate on, right? So in today's class we are going to discuss the concept of binary trees. We'll see what binary trees are, and we'll see how these binary trees differ from the trees, and similarly we'll again go and look at the concepts, the basic concepts and the terminologies of these binary trees, and we'll see some of the properties of binary trees which is very important, and then we'll finally end up our discussion with the basic differences between the binary trees and the trees. So can anybody tell me what is a tree? How can you define a tree in the data structures?
Finite non-empty set of elements.
Right. So it is finite and non-empty set of nodes. Right. As I told that this particular definition does not give the actual meaning of the tree. Though you are saying that it is a set of nodes, or it is a collection of nodes which are finite in nature or non-empty in nature, and you should also add one term that one node
Root.
in this set of nodes has to be designated as a specially designated node which we call them as the root node. So you should define the root node while you give the definition of the tree. It is very important. Right? Without root node, no trees will be there. Right? So this is how we have defined the tree. For example, I draw a tree like this. Is it a tree or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is a tree. Why? Because it is a collection of nodes, and each and every one node I have designated as the root node, and similarly each and every node is connected to the other node with a single edge. This is also important. In trees, every pair of nodes will have a single edge. Right? It cannot have more than one edge. That is also important. So this is an example of trees. If you look at this diagram carefully, how many children are there for this root node?
3, sir.
For this node, how many children are there?
2.
And for this node we have one child, and for this node we have
4.
4. For these nodes, how many children are there?
0, sir.
0. Right. So the nodes with 0 children are called as
Leaves.
the leaf nodes, or they are also
Leaves.
called as external nodes. Right. So if you carefully observe this diagram, you can see that there is no restriction on the number of child nodes that a node can have. This node is having 3, this node is having 2, 1, 4, 0. Like that, you can have any number of children for a particular node. If you don't impose any restrictions on the number of child nodes that a node can have, then we call it as a tree. And now coming to the definition of the binary tree, it is a tree, but we are imposing a restriction on the number of children that a node can have. Right. So what do you understand by this binary?
2, sir. 2 children.
Right.
For each parent.
So the binary trees are the trees where every node can have at most 2 children. Remember, this term is very important. At most. At most means at max.
Maximum 2, sir.
Maximum 2. That means it can have 0 children, 1 child or 2 child. Every node can have, the number of children is restricted within this set only. Either it may have 0 child, or it may have 1 child, or it may have 2 child. So if you impose such type of restriction on the trees, that means every node can have at most 2 children, then we call such type of trees as binary trees. Right. We don't have any applications on these trees. We just make it to represent the hierarchical data. But when coming to the concept of this binary trees, we have lot of applications. So what are applications we have seen in the earlier slide? All those are the applications of the maximum. At max you will get the applications on the binary trees only. Right. Is it clear up to this time? Up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So at most 2 children. So a node can have a children like this. Assume that this node 1 is having childs as 2 and 3. Now while coming to the concept of trees, we don't have any names to the children. Right. So for this root node I have 3 children. I didn't give any names for this children. But while coming to the concept of binary trees, every node can have at most 2 children. So when you draw the child towards its left hand side, we call it as the left child, and the node that exists as the right edge is called as the right child. Right. So we give names to the children nodes in the binary trees, left child and right child. Right. So never ever draw the diagram or represent the trees in this manner. This cannot be a binary tree. Right. So I have this node 1 and the children of this node is 2. Only one child exists. Is it a binary tree or not? Right. According to the definition, it has only at most 2 children, and therefore one node is designated as the root node, and therefore this is a binary tree. But while representing it in the diagrammatical form, you never represent it as a straight line like this, right? As I told that the children are given some special names like the left child and the right child. Either you have to draw the child node either towards its left hand side of this parent or towards its right hand side of its parent, right? So you should distinguish the nodes like this. So this is called the left child and this is called the right child, right? Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So if you look at these two diagrams, I can understand that one is the root node, okay, and I can say that 2 is the child node. But if you consider these two examples under the category of trees, does it have any difference? Normal trees. Normal trees does not have any difference. Why? Because there is no concept of giving the designations to the children, right? So this child 2 is similar to that of the right child, right? But when you consider these two examples as binary trees, there is a difference. There is a difference. The difference is, in this example 1, the child node 2 has been placed as the left child to node 1, and in example 2, the child node 2 has been placed as the right child of node 1, right? So this is one of the primary difference between the trees and the binary trees. We can say that the binary trees are ordered in nature. They are ordered. Ordered means there is a distinction, there is a clear distinction between the left child and the right child, right? Is it clear? So we have seen one of the difference between the trees and the binary trees, that trees are unordered in nature, but the binary trees, we say that they are ordered in nature. Ordered means we make a clear distinction between the left child and the right child. So in this example 1 and example 2, when we treat this as trees, there is no difference. Example 1 is equivalent to example 2, but when we consider these two examples under the category of binary trees, they are different. This is the difference between the trees and the binary trees. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let us go with the slide points on the slide. So every node in a binary tree can have at most 2 children. So this is the restriction we are imposing it on the trees. If we impose such restriction, we call it as a binary tree. And the 2 children of the each node are called as the left child and the right child corresponding to their positions. As I told that when you draw the children or when you put the children towards the left hand side, we call it as the left child, and when you put the children towards its right hand side, we call it as the right child. So a node can have only a left child or only a right child, or it can have no children at all also. Why? Because by definition of the binary tree itself, we are imposing the restriction that every node should have at most 2 children. That means every node can have 0 child, 1 child or 2 child. Right. Now coming to some of the terminologies related to the trees only, but these are not that much important. But when we go through the basic concepts of these trees, you can understand the remaining concepts in a easier fashion, right? There is no need to remember these things, and there is no need to reproduce the things in the examinations also. Why? Because you never get questions on these some of the few topics, right? And coming to the concept of unbalanced trees, can anybody tell me what do you understand by this term unbalanced trees?
Number of nodes at the right side is not equal to number of nodes at the left side.
Yes. Right. So unbalanced means we have two things. One is the left subtree and the second one is the right subtree. This is called as left subtree and this is called as right subtree. So if the number of nodes in the left subtree is not equal or almost equal to the right number of nodes in the right subtree, we call such trees as unbalanced trees. Right. But we don't find any applications for the unbalanced trees. We have lot of applications on the balanced trees. Right. As I told in the earlier class that we have self-balancing trees, self-balanced such trees such as AVL trees. Right. They are going to balance. That means the number of childs on the left child will be kept almost equal to the number of nodes in the right subtree. Right. So the balancing of a trees is very important concept, and we have lot of applications on these balanced trees. Right. We don't have any applications on this unbalanced trees. Right. So some trees can be unbalanced. That means the number of nodes does not match with the number of nodes in the left subtree does not match with the number of nodes in the right subtree. They have most of their nodes on one side of the root and the other. Right. Individual subtrees may also be unbalanced. Right. That is what we have discussed. And trees become unbalanced because of the order in which the data items are inserted. How we are going to insert? In the later classes we will discuss one important concept related to these binary trees, which is called as binary search trees. We call it, in the short form we call it as BSTs. So in the binary search trees, the insertion of the element inside the tree is very important. So during insertions, the tree may become unbalanced in some of the situations. So if such situation arises, it is mandatory that you always balance the trees. Right. So if the key values are inserted in the ascending or descending order of the tree, then the tree will become unbalanced. This is in case of BST. We'll see how the tree becomes unbalanced when we are going to insert the values in the ascending or descending order. Right. So up to this point, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So as I told that for search centric applications, that means whenever you are concentrating on applications where you want to have the efficient search operation, in such applications the unbalanced tree must be balanced. Right. So efficient searching operation can always be obtained with the help of balanced trees only. So there is a need for balancing the unbalanced trees. How we are going to balance in the AVL trees and all these things, we will discuss it in the later classes. Right. So again, coming to the tree terminology, we have seen most of the tree terminologies in the earlier slides, but again we will come across with some of the new terminologies in this particular slide. We know what a root node is. Can anybody define what a root node is?
A node without parents, sir.
Right. A node which is placed at the top level or a node without any parent nodes is called as the root node. So what is the root node of this given tree example?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we have seen the concept of siblings. Siblings means the nodes that share the same parent. So what are siblings in this level? Can we say that B, C, D are siblings? Can we say that B, C, D are siblings or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Can we say that E, F are siblings?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can we say that G and H are siblings?
Yes, sir.
Can we say that E, F, G, H are siblings?
No, sir.
No. Why? Because they are not sharing the same parent. Right. So coming to the internal nodes. What are internal nodes?
Non-leaf nodes, sir.
Non-leaf nodes are otherwise called as internal nodes. That means the nodes which have at least one child node are called as the internal nodes. In this diagram, A, B, C and F are called as the internal nodes and they are represented in the blue color. And coming to the external nodes, the leaf nodes are otherwise called as the external nodes. Otherwise we can say in the other terms also that the nodes which does not have any child node are called as the external nodes. So E, I, J, K, G, H and D are the external nodes, and in this diagram they are represented with a green color. And coming to ancestors, what are ancestors? So the ancestors are nothing but the elders, right? The parents, grandparents, grandparents, etc. We call them as the ancestors. Similarly, descendants means child, grandchild, grandchild. All these things are called as the descendants. And up to here, it is not that important, right? Ancestors, descendants, external nodes, internal nodes, siblings. All these things we are very much clear, and we never come across the concept of ancestors and descendants also. But from here onwards, the concepts are very important. What is the depth of a node? Depth of a node, right? This is very important. So the depth of a node in the binary tree is the total number of edges from the root node to the target node. Very important definition. Very important. Right. So if I want to know the depth of node F, here you should understand two terminologies. One is the depth of a node and another one is the depth of a tree. We'll see what is the depth of a tree, but let us discuss the depth of a node. So if I want to consider the depth of the node, what you should do is you go to the root node and you count the number of edges that exists in the path from the root node to this particular node. So if I want to have the height of the depth of this particular node F, I go to the root node and I go through the path until I reach F. So the number of edges that exists between this AF path is, this is one edge and this is another edge. So the height or the depth of this node F is 2. What is the depth of C?
1, sir.
1. What is the depth? What is the depth of I?
3, sir.
3, right? So I go to the root node and I reach the I through a path from A to I, that is AB followed by BF followed by FI. So there are 3 edges that exist in the path between this A and I. Therefore the depth of node I is 3. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And coming to the depth of the tree, this is very important. So the depth of a tree is nothing but we define it in the same terms. That means we define it as the number of edges only from the root. But this time when you want to find the depth of a tree, you should always calculate the number of edges from the root node to the last distant leaf node, right? So what is the height of what is the depth of this particular tree?
3, sir.
3, sir.
3. Why? Because as you can see that the last leaf node that we can find here is either I, J or K, right? So if I find the depth of this I, J or K, that will be equal to the depth of a tree. For example, I have another node like this. Now tell me what is the depth of the tree.
4, sir.
It will become 4. Why? Because the maximum node's depth in a tree can become the depth of a tree. That's it. Simple thing. Right. So if you understand the concept of depth, we will go for the height.
Yes, sir.
So here also there exist 2 terms. One is the height of a node and the next one is the height of the tree. Right. So if you carefully observe the definitions of this depth and height, they are equal. They are equal. Right. So when you express the height, you will be moving in this direction, and when you express it in depth, we will be moving in this direction. Right. Depth means from root, height means from leaf to root. That's it. That is the only difference, right? So the height of the tree is equal to the depth of the tree. That is nothing more than that. Right? So if you want to find the height of a node, so if I want to find the height of node G, what I should do? I should find the number of edges from G to root node. So there are 2 edges, therefore the height of node G is 2. And what is the height of node K?
3, sir.
3. Why? Because from K I move in the upward direction, I move to F, from F I move to B, and then from B I move to the root node A. So there exists 3 edges between this K and A. Therefore the height of this node is 3. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is the depth of this tree? What is depth of this tree? Example
3, sir.
3. What is the height of this tree?
3, sir.
3 only. So you can observe here that the height and depth of a tree are almost equal, but the way you consider it, whether you are going in the upward direction or in the downward direction, that makes the difference. That's it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So there is other shortcut method where you can find the height or depth of a tree, right, by making use of levels. As I told that you can give the level numbers to the tree which you are going to represent, and I already told that the level of the root node is always starts with 0. Am I right or not? So what is the level of root node? You should always take it as
0, sir. 0,
0, right? But in some textbooks they are going to represent the level of the root node as 1. So if it is 1, then you have to make necessary modifications in the formulas. We will see that properties of the binary trees in a short while. There you have some properties. How can you find the maximum number of nodes in a tree if a height is given? Or how can you find the minimum number of trees if the height is given? How can you calculate the height of the tree when the number of nodes is given? So like that we have number of formulas. So when you consider the level as 0, then it depends, the formulas will be dependent on, they are derived with respect to 0 only. But if you change it to level 1, then the formula may vary, right? You have to make necessary modifications. That's it. But we always make a practice that the root node is always kept at level 0. And when you keep on moving towards its downward direction, you keep on incrementing the levels. That means in the second level the level will be at 1, and here what is the level 1 number? It is 2, and here it is level 3. So in such case the height of the tree or the depth of the tree is equal to the level number. That's it. What is the maximum level we have? That is called as the height. So the height of the tree is equal to the depth of the tree is equal to maximum level of the tree. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you are clear about these terms, we will go to some other terms called as degree of a node. So the degree of a node is nothing but the number of children it can have or it is having. So what is the degree of node A? You should consider how many children are there.
3, sir.
So the node A is having 3 children. Therefore the degree of node A is 3. Similarly, what is the degree of node B?
2, sir.
2. C is 2. D is
0.
0. E is 0. F is
0.
3.
3.
This is 0, 0, and I is 0, J is 0, and K is 0. Right. So that is how we calculate the degree of a node. Now coming to the degree of a tree, it is very simple. Whenever you want to find the degree of a tree, you have to calculate the degrees of all the nodes and you have to take the maximum degree node. right? So what is the degree of this tree in this example?
3, sir.
3, sir.
So we have two nodes with a maximum node degree, that is A and F. So we have to take that particular node degree as the degree of a tree. Right. So for example, I have F like this, L. So the node degree will become, the node degree of F is 4. Now what happens to the degree of a tree?
4 comes 4.
It is 4. Why? Because you have to take the maximum node degree as the degree of a tree. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And subtree, we have seen this definition earlier itself. Tree consisting of a node and its descendants, we call it as a subtree, right? So this is a subtree, and we can call this as a subtree, and this is a subtree. Like that we can have n number of subtrees for a given tree, right? So we just go through these concepts. Give me the values of these particular properties. What are number of nodes in this example?
9, sir.
9. What is the height?
4, sir.
5, sir.
4. Right. You always, when you want to find the height, what you will do is you will give the level numbers. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Sometimes 5 is also correct, as Ajay has told. Why? Because if you treat it as if you treat the root level as 1, it will be 5, right? But we'll go with one convention, that we always treat the root node that is kept at the level 0 only, right? So the height of this example tree that is given is 4. What is the root node?
Yes, sir.
What are the leaves we have?
E, F, D, H, I.
C, D, F, H and I. What are interior nodes?
A, B, E and G, sir.
A, B, E and G. What are ancestors of H?
G,
Ancestors means parent, grandparent, grandparent. G, E, B, E. G is the parent, and E is the grandparent, and B is the grandparent, and A is the grandparent, right? So what are the descendants of B? Children, grandchildren, grandchildren, right?
D.
Children, right? D, E, F, and grandchildren is also there for E, right? G and H and I. What are siblings of E?
That's sir.
G.
D, F, sir.
Siblings of E, D and F only, right? What is the right subtree of A?
C, sir.
C, sir.
Only one node, that is C. What is the left subtree of A? We have to give the entire node list, B, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? What is the degree of this tree?
3, sir.
4.
4.
4, sir.
Where is what node is having 4 nodes, 4 children? A is having 2, this is 3, this is 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0. So what is the maximum degree node we have in this example? It is B. What is the degree of this node?
3, sir.
So the
3, sir.
degree of the entire tree is the largest degree node, which is B, which is equal to 3, right? So is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Again, coming back to this binary tree definition, as we told that a binary tree is a tree with the following properties. Each internal node has at most 2 children, that is degree of 2. The children of a node are an ordered pair. This is what we have told, right? Ordered pair means there is a clear distinction whether you are going to represent it as the left child or whether you are going to represent it as a right child. We call the children of the internal node as the left child and right child. So alternative recursive definition is a binary tree is either a tree consisting of a single node or a tree has root and has an ordered pair of children, each of which is a binary tree, right? And coming to the application, don't bother about the definition. You can write in your own definition also, right? So a binary tree is a tree where each and every node will have at most 2 children and they are in the ordered pair. This is what the actual definition of the binary tree is, right? And coming to the applications part, we can make use of this binary tree in the arithmetic expressions. We have expression trees which we will be discussing in the coming classes, and it is used in the decision process, right? We have in the artificial intelligence like decision trees concept is there, where when you want to make a decision on a particular condition, you will go for the concept of decision trees. So in decision trees we will be making use of this trees concept only, and in the searching process we are going to make use of this binary trees in the context of binary search trees, right? So these are the various applications we have on the binary trees. So now coming to some more types of binary trees we have, that is degenerate tree. Degenerate means only one child for each and every node. Such type of trees are called as degenerate trees. So if you consider this example, the root node is having the right child, the right child is having the left child, and again the left child is having the left child. So no particular node will have more than one child. So if every node is maintaining one child except the leaf node, then such type of binary trees are called as degenerate binary trees. This is not important from the point of your examination, but this is important for the knowledge purpose, right? And what about this complete binary tree? Complete, the name itself is saying that you should always have 2 children, right? So the root node, if you consider this example, the root node is having 2 children, and this node is having 2 children, this node is having 2 children. So this is a complete node, complete binary tree, right? And coming to the balanced binary tree, mostly 2 children, right? So here how many nodes are there in the left part of this root node? 2, right? And in the right part of this root node we have 3 children. So almost equal, the number of nodes in the left subtree is almost equal to the number of nodes in the right subtree, right? So such type of trees we call it as the balanced binary trees. Is it right or not? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the degenerate binary trees we also call them as the skewed binary trees. Skewed means they extend towards one direction only, right? Right. So if you consider this one, this example, A is having left child as B, B is having left child as C, C is having left child as D, and D is having left child as E. So every node will be extended towards its left hand side only. So this type of trees are called as left skewed binary trees. And the other category we have is the right skewed binary trees. So the right skewed binary tree means you are having the tree, every node in the binary tree will have only the right child except the child node. Such type of trees are called as right skewed binary trees, right? So there is a difference between the skewed binary and the degenerate, which we have seen earlier, right? So here we are not in the degenerate, we are not putting any restrictions whether it is going to have the left or right child. We are putting a restriction that every node should have one child. You can place it as the left child or the right child. But here in the skewed binary trees, if it is a left skewed binary tree, you always impose a restriction that every node should have only one left child. And in the right skewed binary trees, you impose the restriction that every node should have only one right child, right? And this is important. You have this particular complete binary trees, right? What is a complete binary tree? In the previous we have seen that complete binary tree is a tree where every node always has 2 children or 0 children. 2 or 0, that's it. It cannot have one child. Such type of trees are called as complete binary trees. We will again come back to this definition of this complete binary tree with more refinement, right? But let us just remember that the complete binary tree is a binary tree where each and every node will have at most two, will have only two children, not at most, will have only two children, right? So A is having two children, B is having two children, C is having two children, D is having two children, and E, F, G and H and I are the leaf nodes. Therefore we don't put any restriction. So the complete binary tree means it should have 0 or 2 children. No node should have one child. Right. So these are the differences between a tree and a binary tree. In the earlier slide also I have discussed that the difference between the tree and the binary tree is the nodes in the binary tree are ordered in nature. Ordered means you will have to distinguish the left child and the right child. Right. As an example, we told that if you consider these two examples under the concept of trees, they are one and equal. Why? Because they are not ordered. Nodes are not ordered in trees. But if you consider the same example with respect to binary trees, since the nodes in the binary trees are ordered in nature, they are different. This is the node A consisting of left child as B, and this is the node A consisting of right child as B. They are different in case of binary trees, right? So this is another example of terminology. We are just going to skip it, right? So again, the definition of the tree is a tree T is a finite non-empty set of elements. One of these elements is called as the root element. The remaining elements, if any, are partitioned into trees which are called as subtrees. Why a tree? As I told that when somebody asks you what is the reason for implementing this trees, means it has the benefits from the ordered arrays and the linked lists. We can have efficient search, insertion and deletion operations with respect to trees. So they are faster than the linear data structure in terms of searching, linked list, searching, insertion and deletion, and they are more natural fit for some kinds of data. So whenever you want to represent the hierarchical sort of data, you always represent it in the trees. Hierarchical data cannot be represented using the linear data structures. So when you want to represent the hierarchical data, you should always go for the concept of trees. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Again, we have the same example of trees. We are not going to discuss this. Subtrees also we have seen, and the terminology we have seen. Root, children, grandchildren, leaves, everything we have seen. Ancestors, descendants, and levels and height. This also we have seen, right? As I told that some of the others, they treat the root level as level 0 and they go keep incrementing for the next levels, right? But here he has taken it as root at level 1 and the children are starting from level 2, right? Anything is correct only, right? But if you want to follow a correct convention, you have to make the level of the root as 0 only. And that is not wrong if somebody says that the root is at level 1. Right. But as I told that you should make necessary modifications in the properties. That's it. And this also we have discussed. The height of a tree is equal to the depth of a tree and it is equal to the number of levels. And this also we have discussed. That node degree is the number of children it has. So these are the node degrees of this example. Joe is having 3 children, Anne is having 2, Mary is having 1 children, John is having 1, and like that we know all these things. And coming to the tree degree, as I told that the tree degree is the maximum of node degrees. So you calculate the number of the degrees of each and every node inside the tree and you take the maximum element from it, that is considered to be the degree of the tree. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the degree of this tree is
3, sir.
3, sir.
right, 3. Super. Now binary tree, everything we have discussed, right? A finite collection of elements and non-empty. One node has to be designated as the root, and every node has the ordered pair. That means left and right subtrees will be there. So again, the difference between the tree and binary tree is same. In binary tree, the nodes are ordered. In the trees, the nodes are not in the ordered manner. Right. And one more important point is a binary tree may be empty, but a tree cannot be empty. Right. And no node in a binary tree may have a degree more than 2. That is what we have discussed. From the definition of binary tree, we will know that no node in a binary tree can have more than 2 degree, whereas there is no limit for the degree of a node in a tree. This is what we discussed in the earlier slides. And the subtrees of the binary tree are ordered, whereas the subtrees of a tree are not ordered. Right. So we will discuss this particular binary tree properties and close our session. So you please concentrate on these 3 properties which I am going to discuss. Right. We will see these node numbering properties, all these things in the next class. So coming to the binary tree properties, the first property what the author is suggesting, what the author is giving is the drawing of every binary tree with n elements where n greater than 0 has exactly n minus 1 edges. This is very important property, right? So what the author is trying to say? So if a binary tree is having n nodes, then it is going to have exactly n minus 1 edges. Let us check it with example. If I take 2 nodes, or if I take 1 node, let us take as simple example. If I have 1 node like this, how many edges are there?
0, sir.
0 edges, sir.
So I will take the node number and the edges. So if I take the node number, this is equal to n, right? 1, the number of edges is 0. If I take 2 nodes, the number of edges is 1. If I take 3 nodes, the number of edges is 2. If I take 4 nodes, the number of edges is 3. And if I take something like this, how many nodes are there? 7 nodes. How many edges are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
6, sir.
you can simply identify the number of edges in a binary tree if you know the number of nodes. Right. So if a binary tree consists of n nodes, the number of edges will be exactly n minus 1. This is the first property regarding this binary tree properties, binary trees. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Now this is a very important property we have with respect to binary trees. So a binary tree of height h, where h greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, has at least h and at most 2 power h minus 1 elements in it. Right. So let us check it out with an example. Let us take the example tree like this. So what is the height of this tree?
3, sir.
It is 3, right? So this is level 1, level 2 and level 3. So the height is equal to 3. Right. So at least means it should have at least one child. So how many nodes are there?
4, 3.
4, sir.
4 nodes, right? So this is this particular property has been taken under consideration that height is calculated with respect to the root node designated as level 1, right? So let us take the level 1 itself, right? We'll make the necessary modification, don't worry, I'm not deviating from the concept. So if I take the root node as level 1, what is the height here? 4. So how many minimum number of nodes are there? At least means minimum, right? What is the minimum number of nodes we have?
4.
At least 4, which is equal to height, right? Now at most means you have to take a condition where every node is having 2 children, like this. Now tell me, what is the height here? 4 or not?
4, sir.
4 only, sir.
4 only. Now tell me, what is the at most number of nodes? At most means, as I told, that every node should have 2 children, right? So how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Is it equal to 2 power sorry H right? So this is the meaning of at most, right? So if a binary tree is having height is equal to h, so then at most it can have 2 power h minus 1. So in this example my h is equal to 4, so the maximum number of nodes it can have is 2 power 4 minus 1, that is 16, minus 1, that is 15, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if I make the modifications, what are the modifications that I should do if I take the root node at level 0 and the remaining nodes incremented? So what is the height here?
3, sir.
3. Now tell me, what are the at least what are the number of nodes
H
for
plus 1.
it is equal to
H plus 1, sir.
Super, right? And what about this one?
2 power h plus 1.
2 power h plus 1 minus 1.
2 power h plus 1 minus 1. So this is how you need to change the formulas, right? So anything is possible. You can start the level of the root at 0 or 1. So this is the formula that is given by considering the root taking at level 1. But if you take the root at level 0, you can make the necessary modifications corresponding, right? So on the last property which we are going to discuss is, if height is given, previously what is that one? If binary tree of h height is given, then you are going to find the number of nodes, least number of nodes and the most number of nodes, right? But here in this example we are going to calculate the height of the binary tree if elements are given. Reverse process. Previously we used to calculate the number of elements if height is given, but now we are going to calculate the height if number of elements is given, right? See here. So if height h is equal to 3, so how many minimum number of nodes it can have?
4, sir.
3.
It is 4, right?
Yes, sir.
No. This time we are not going to take the height. We are going to take the number of elements, right? For example, let me take the example like this. So if number of elements is 4, that means every node is having 1 children. Therefore I take it as the least case. So the number of nodes is 4. So what will be the height?
3, sir.
Right. Now if I take the another case, maximum number of nodes I have taken. So here n is equal to 15. What can be the height here?
3, sir.
Again 3, sir.
Again 3, right? So here he has taken, as I told, that he has taken in terms of this 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So if I take this root level at 1, so what is the height here? 4, right? So I have to take the ceiling of log n plus 1 base 2. What is log n plus 1? It is 16 base 2, right, which is equal to 4. So the height of the binary tree that contains n elements where n greater than 0 is at least log n plus 1 base 2, and at most means this one. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are the various binary properties we have. Maximum will be applying these binary tree properties in the competitive examinations, right? We are not going to of course there exists proofs for these properties also. We are not going to concentrate on it, right? We just want to know the formulas, and if there are any situations where we need to apply these formulas, we just apply them. That's it. No need for the proofs and no need for the theorems also, right? So these are the 3 properties of the binary trees we have, and this is end of our today's session. So in today's session we have discussed the concept of binary trees and the applications of binary trees we have discussed, and we discussed the differences between the trees and the binary trees, and we ended up our discussion with the discussion on properties of binary trees, right? So if it is clear, we can just close the session, right? Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So in tomorrow's session we will continue with the same trees concept. So we are going to enter into a very important concept in tomorrow's class, that is tree traversal techniques. Very important concept, right? So thank you one and all. This is end of today's session.